Yep, we are doing a tier list. I'm not even sure if there is anyone live. Like, I could check. I don't really know. But hey, if there's anyone here, then I'm glad. Thank you all. I could just say, I just wanted to say, like, thank you guys so much for like coming here. Oh yeah, this thing forced me. By the way, that little black square over there, like, it just I can't take it off for some reason. I mean, it's not like there's anyone live, anyways. I could, I could wait for someone to come here. Um, I could wait. No, that's not it. I mean, this is clearly not getting as many views, but like, I'm sort of doing this as some sort of experiment, like I gotta experiment with stuff. Just gonna say in chat. So yeah, I guess we could be starting onto things, even though there's really no one. I think there's going to be like eventually we are gonna be getting someone like seeing this, or maybe just someone like not even sure if this fits to the format of video. I'm not even sure if this is getting any views at all. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not expecting anything more than 10 views though. Like, honestly, if it was 10 views, I'd be surprised. I'd be very honestly surprised if I got 10 views. Uh, like, I really just. The reason I'm doing this format stream, I really is because, like, streaming was infinitely faster. Like, streaming was infinitely faster than, like, doing it normal video. Like I'm streaming because I can't be doing like video right now. It's too late for me to be doing video. I mean, there's nobody yet. I guess like I'm not expecting anything else. I mean, I could stop with the video soon. I'm just waiting. I'm gonna wait for someone. No, I'm just gonna start by now. Uh, anyways, I'm gonna be placing characters that aren't included. Like we can take out sorry. We can take out Bell, Gutter. These are my two mains, by the way. Fighter, Gooey, Magalore, Meta Knight, Ninja, Water, Wrestler, then Yo-Yo. I think that's all the 10. I don't want to spoil the order. I'm just gonna count them. Yep, it's the 10. It's the 10 that aren't usually like included in the stream. Like I shouldn't be including. So yeah, let's start with today's video by starting with the bottom tiers. The worst. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. This video is basically for 50 subscribers special, and also because I've always just wanted to make a mid to bottom tier list, like without the very very best characters in the game, like just the mid, low, and bottom tiers. That would be really fun. To be honest, I've always felt like you can make a mid tier tournament, then a low tier tournament, then a bottom tier tournament. I feel like with these characters. I feel like this is a perfect ranking. Like that's not even close to it. It's not even remotely close to like a perfect thing. Yo, sup, Sava? Um, I'm gonna be starting by Hammer. I feel like Hammer is one of the worst characters in this entire game. Like he just doesn't have any range. He doesn't have a way of approaching you. I feel like you can get close to the opponent with hammer because it just doesn't have anything to approach. You say, "Oh, dash attack." He has a dash attack. Yeah, but like most, it's just so lackluster range that you can very easily attack him, and it isn't even as fast as a normal as your average dash attack. Like it goes faster than your average speed, but it also has a ton of startup, so it's predictable. Like I feel like this character is just really bad. Like he barely have any like he barely has any hope for this game in my opinion. Like he has a ton of damage though. I'll give him that. Like I feel like that the damage itself just saves this character from going in his own like hammer tier. Just the damage. Like the amount of damage is pretty decent. It's start of a mid tier of your average mid tier. So yeah, that's something decent. I feel like Artist doesn't really quite have anything similar to Hammer's great damage. I feel like Artist's thing is like he doesn't have anything more than okay, which I consider like a low tier or something. Like Artist Artist isn't even that good to begin with. Like once you realize how to fight against Artist, he becomes a really bad character, I think. Thanks, Sava. Anyways, Artist's damage is really like low, like even after you hit a dash attack, you can immediately DI off it, and like that's just no good. You can also DI off his statue. That's like bad. Like that's really bad for artists. And yeah, you just aren't doing any damage. He also has no air game. His air game is really bad, completely sucks. You shouldn't be using artists in the air, which is another weakness. Like artists need to constantly deal with shield, which is a really bad thing for artists. Like he can't really approach you in any way. Most of his some of his attacks just have immense startup. His only really okay stuff are like once you get to hit the dash attack or like once you get to hit a statue or shield. That's his only okay stuff. He does okay damage there. And the rest of his stuff are completely useless. Uh, Next up we have Staff. I feel like I've seen so many people overrating this character, even in 2025. Like, I think, I mean, I feel like these characters, all the characters here are good casually, but I feel like in a competitive scene, stuff is just really not great. Even if you use his down attack, down air, in the air, you really need to know what you're doing because of the startup of the launch. So like you really need to know what you're doing. If you aren't using that attack though, like the whole thing with Sas's air game completely sucks as bad as artist. And once again, Staff needs to deal with shield. Once again, that's really bad. Now I feel like compared to artist, at least he has range, and at least once he gets a hit, he's actually dealing a ton of damage. He's actually really good. But once again, his hitboxes are thin. There's a ton of problems with staff all around. I mean, staff's really not that great. I feel like staff is a bottom tier. Yeah, that seems about right. Once again, I feel like he has a sort of potential up to him, but like that potential is so small. I feel like that just should remain in the bottom tier. He's definitely in the bottom tier though, like no lower, not like him, not like Hammer or maybe even Artist, like the low, even lower tier. No, like stuff's just the bottom tier, just bottom tier. Then we have Bandanity. Bandanity. The thing with Bandanity is like you. He has a ton of potential. Imagine controlling the stage, like he's really good for controlling the stages like bubbly clouds. Imagine that's really good. And Bandanity, like Bandanity's approach is also really good. He has the double jump. He has the jab one. All those great stuff. But I feel like Bandanity is one of the worst flaws. Is like he has two big flaws. Like his ground game. It's again he still needs to deal with shield even with focusing on the air game, but still, it's just really bad. Like Artisan Banditity needs to completely focus on his air game. It's not like these two characters that need to fully focus on ground game, and that's a big weakness. I'd argue that a weakness for ground game is worse than a weakness for aerial game because your ground game could be so good that it ends up here. Like for example, Fighter Bandetti, like I see no character here that has a great air game, so great that it makes up for his ground game. Because all these characters, his ground game is great too. Like yeah, Bandetti is just kind of bound to be at least a low tier. And the second flaw with Bandetti is like his frame data is really bad. Like he's really slow throwing out attacks, and it can be predicted with ease. I feel. Again, if you're really good with Bandanity, I can see potential for this guy to go into low tier, but that's as high as I'd put him. Oh damn. Oh damn. I'm so sorry, man. I also love Bandanity though. Like Bandanity is really fun to play as, but like he's a bottom tier. But sub Stranger Cast. Anyways, we are gonna be going to the low tier. I feel like Beam is a low tier. Like Beam, the thing with Beam is that his dash share is really like as soon as you hit the dash share, the dash aerial attack is like really good. Not as a solo attack though. Like his solo attack can be countered in like 15 different ways. Like that, it's crazy. Like the amount of ways you can counter this attack, the dash share from Beam. Like if a Beam just starts using it forever, it's literally more ways to counter that than the subscribers I have. Like that's crazy. Ben, like I literally should not be explained. Like, why should I be spitting it out? Like, you literally can just be under a platform, shield, going to a place where beam doesn't hit as much. Uh, like, heck, even hitting beams is dash share. It's so inconceivably like. It's not even great. Like you usually not getting that many hits. The thing that saves him from being bottom tier is like it's still a good move nonetheless. Like it can work with the rest of his okay attacks like jab and dash attack. I feel it does something. Like Beam's dash attack and jab do something, which lets Beam, in turn, use dash air for his advantage. Again, they're still really not that great. He's still definitely a low tier, and I feel like he's by far the worst low tier. But I mean, he does something, like he beats characters. Like Parasol. I feel like again, Beam does something. I feel like he does something, especially against like higher low tiers, some mid tiers. But like he does nothing against these top 10. Like Beam against these top 10, nothing. He has nothing into them. Then we have I feel like Sword. I feel like I mean, the funny thing is like back then I had bomb here, but like I switched my mind some time ago. I'm gonna explain later why, but Sword is here now. I feel like since ever I started seeing like Jens' old like 2022 clips, back then, back in 2022, he actually impressed me, man. Like he was beating Meta Knight with ease. Like it's crazy. Like so much potential, just so much damage this character can give. I feel like Sword gives the vibes of if he was Hammer, but he could actually approach. That's basically surrounding that. And I feel like Sword actually has potential, you know? Like I feel like Beam doesn't have as many potential, same with Bandanity. Like Sword is the first one that I feel has potential to mid tier. Again, he just doesn't have enough stuff to like be doing much else, you know? Uh but again, he's still a really good character. He just lacks range, he just lacks he just had bad frame data, you know, all those types of stuff that you do not want to have, all those types of stuff that most low and bottom tiers just have of weaknesses. And again, most of the stuff that just makes you not being able to counter these characters. Next up, we have Bomb. I feel like Bomb has the potential to be the best one here. Again, I've seen some clips from again a Japanese guy that I don't really remember the name of right now. I'm gonna get used to his name, but like again, he's a really good bomb main. Like he was able to challenge some of the best players with bomb, and I really hope he appears in March's tournament. Like again, we are going to be holding a March tournament in the Kirby Fighters 2 server, and basically just going to be really good, you know, like how Bomb is just going to be like just has this insane control. Like legitimately, he feels like Archer just keeping you away at such ease. Like it's actually crazy. But again, he still has his own weaknesses. Range is bad, damage is bad. It's as simple as that. Bomb is sucks. Still sucks. He still has basically nothing to these characters. I feel like these times are remind me. Bomb reminds me seriously of Beetle, like back in 2024. I feel like Bomb right here is the same as Beetle, and Beetle is one of my favorite characters, by the way. Like one of my favorite low tiers, if not my favorite. But once again, Beetle's this big thing is like he was so good. KMT was so good with Beetle that like he ended up winning a whole tournament almost solo Beetle. And once again, that proven to be matchup inexperience because people have been beating Beetle now, in Kate's Beetle included, not so long ago. He has proven that he has something onto these characters, even if it's just even matchups. He has something into them. But again, he loses badly against characters lower than him. And that's one of the main weaknesses of today's first mid tier, Parasol. Ave keeps saying to like Adrian keeps saying that like Parasol is higher, and I mean it could be, but I feel like it's just if you have so much counter picking going on, like you can counter pick Parasol so easily, then you're barely doing anything with Parasol. I feel again, I've seen the results, I've seen the stuff, but I'm more into like the potential side of things. I feel like Parasol would probably go here. It's not a big gap though. I could see uh these one of these characters like below Parasol, but I swear to you, like characters' range is really not that great. Like again, you can approach really easily, but again, most characters can just eliminate Parasol because of this. Like they can be beating Parasol really easily. Next up we have DDD. I feel like DDD has. I mean, he could be lower than Parasol. I will admit that. Like yes, I've seen what Parasol is capable of. So what? I think DDD is better. Legitimately. Again, DDD is just bigger damage. Even though he has more weaknesses, as a matter of fact, I will admit that. Like, he has more weaknesses. but like he deals so much damage is the thing. Like, imagine if a DDD is approaching you, he immediately just takes you on so much damage. So much damage, I feel like you get killed immediately. It's crazy how good the DDD is. Uh, again, I'm not really sure if I want to place Parasol or DDD higher. I'd say for the sake of results, I'm placing Parasol higher. Again, it's results wise. Parasol is better results wise for sure. But DDD is just the amount of damage. I feel like it's really good. DDD is really good. Like, he deals a ton of damage. Uh, and also again, like Parasol, but Parasol like approach is really good. Once again, DDD can also get countered very easily lower. Yeah, I feel like DDD goes here. I think DDD goes here. Next up, we have Whip. Whip is a really good character. This is a character that I refuse placing Parasol higher than. Like, again, in the way that Whip is definitely better than Parasol. Again, it's not by a ton, but I've seen Whip names, man. The Whip Tornado is such a hard carrier. It's one of the best NTRs in the game. It can combo off so well into other stuff if you're really good. And like Whip is just really good with that. And again, his total damage is once again really impressive. It's a some sort of structure with meteors, like every single meteor having a ton of damage. Especially these three. I feel as if Whip still has problems with matchups, meaning that he still ends up in a meteor. But like he's really good. And finally, we have Archer. Sorry, and Archer. Archer's dash aerial attack deals so much damage, legitimately, and can keep you away really easily. Like again, a good archer can be really good. Again, a good DDD, a good parasol, a good whip, a good archer. That's the whole thing, bro. That's the whole thing. A good sword, a good bomb, a good hero. It's the same story with every single character. A, a good of this character could place the character higher. Once again, we don't have enough players to be basing ourselves exclusively on results. And like we really need to be thinking about potential, which I feel like is sort of the reason as to why uh tier list are so subjective these days. Like it's fully on potential. It's not in results. Like it's in potential. I feel like yeah, you gotta admit that your tier list is wrong sometimes. Like again, I admit that there is from time to time, but again, I'm pretty convinced that Archer is lower. He just hasn't been showing results at all, at least from what I've seen. Mostly only as a counter pick, and that's exactly the thing here with these characters. They have so many problems with matchups that like they end up just being counter picks. Again, Archer is a bit differently. He's basically giving it to everyone. He doesn't really win against anyone. His matchup becomes worse if you are able to approach him. Matchup becomes better if you aren't able to approach him. And again, that's just sort of the thing with Archer. He's really good for keeping you away, but really bad once you approach. So I feel like a good archer, gifted archer, would be really good, but like any other type of character would just not be able to be doing much. I feel like yeah, I feel like this is pretty much a tier list. I don't think I'm going to be doing a tier list with these characters here. I'm not really sure. Bye, my repo. Thanks for watching, man. I'm glad that there's someone here that's watching. I was expecting to get zero viewers actually. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed. Like this was pretty much it. I'm not ranking these characters. Like I'm not continuing. I'm just gonna be focusing on these characters. Hold up, let me just put the tier say full tier list. And yeah, this is pretty much it for the stream. Let me just say Yeah, I guess I think I'm gonna end stream soon. Uh, yeah, I think I'm finishing the stream. Anyways, see y'all guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you guys so much for 50 subscribers. I never expected to have this big amount of subscribers. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that next time, like, I'll be able to do a list like via video, since it would be more fun. I guess we just stick with the stream. I'm thankful for everyone who watched, and see you. Wow.